Come on, there you go. That's it. What you want, your friend. Here comes everyone. That's it. Marvelous, marvelous. We're going to have a wonderful celebration here in a few moments. And guess what? You're going to be part of it. We're going to have a marvelous time. Everybody's going to have a wonderful time. Come on now. You're almost here. That's it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a marvelous time of it all. We're very excited about it. We've got wonderful things planned, but of course, I say we, and it really isn't me now, is it? It's not just planning. No, ladies and gentlemen, it's not. So it's time for me to introduce you to your hostess, who has planned everything for you. So, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Lady Washington here.
Very dull without substance, and I really wanted the gentleman I returned from the presidency almost a year ago at a great over, and I said to my granddaughter Nellie, who was with me, I don't want to travel anymore now, but I sure hope lots of visitors come to us. And they have. Thank you so much for coming. You know, the general is not fond of surprises. Let me tell you. But nonetheless, this is his first birthday back home from the presidency, and we couldn't resist the opportunity to have a little celebration for him. I'm very glad you're going to be joining us. Dr. Craig,
everything is in order, all except one thing. I don't think the people gathered here know how to properly cheer the general. So, I'm going to help you out with that and teach you how to properly cheer him with a hearty huzzah. Now, we're going to do this. I'm going to lead you. I'm going to give you a hip hip, and you're going to yell back huzzah. So let's do this right now. Hip hip.
Huzzah!
Home now, you're falling asleep again. Everybody, hip hip.
Huzzah!
Dr. Craig, he approached.
Well, everyone, pretend like you just don't know why you're here at all. Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Hip hip!
Huzzah! Huzzah! Huzzah!
I'm overwhelmed. I must tell you. This is rather unexpected. Mr. Lear and I were about to walk the farms. I can see that's not going to happen.
Not today.
Look right here. Well, General, that would be another one of your surprises this day. Well, we always like to have a bit of music or special celebration going on. Martial music stirs the blood. Shall we listen?
Yes. Let's enjoy.
Tall enough. I see their heads, I think.
Okay, put me on your shoulder.
Oh. It'd be cooler if we could see it. They're all near the house. I know, right?
I've been watching. You agree? You know, I cannot help, when I hear martial music, think back on a few events in my life, the truth be told. This actually puts me in mind of the very first public celebration of my birthnight. You have all heard of the Valley of the Four, have you not?
Yes.
We were having a winter encampment there, winter 77, 78. It was a very difficult time for the Army. We were in want of everything. Clothing, shoes, blankets, food, fodder for the animals. And things were rather difficult. And the truth be told, I was dealing with a rather difficult Congress as well. I'm sure that bears no resemblance to your day of time. But be that as it may, I had put in a very long day at headquarters. And I decided to retire for the night. It was well past candle time.
What do you want?
And I made my way up to our chambers. Mrs. Washington was there. You remember how crowded the Isaac Clarke House was. And I take off my regimental coat. I'm exhausted. And I notice, while I am removing my regimental coat, Mrs. Washington is putting on a shawl. And she's raising the window. She had a glint in her eye, not dissimilar to what you see now. And all of a sudden, when the window was full up, beautiful music wafts through from the ground below. I sigh, I put my regimental coat back on, and I walk to the window and I look down, and there are 250, 300, perhaps 400 soldiers, all standing in a half circle. In the core of that half circle, 8 or 10 musicians from General Henry Knox's Artillery Corps. And that was the very first public celebration of my birthnight, all arranged by my dear lady wife, and I still think that you paid those musicians too much there.
You can never reward musicians enough. I've always said the sound of the pipes and drums.
Well, that is very, very true. You know, martial music is critically important to an army. We march to music. Let me ask you a question. What is our most popular marching song during the War of American Independence? Yankee Doodle?
Yankee Doodle. No?
You're all wrong.
Oh.
The most popular marching song during the War of American Independence was a song called Chester. If you're not familiar with it, I suggest you become familiar with it. It's a stirring song. But since you have raised Yankee Doodle, madam, I want to ask you a question. You have all learned a verse as a child, am I correct?
Yes.
Yankee Doodle went to town or London, riding on a
pony,
stuck a
feather,
in his
cap,
and called it
macaroni.
And this is the verse that you all know. From one old soldier to another, Doctor. You should be ashamed of yourselves. That is a highly insulting, derogatory verse that was written by the British to criticize the Americans. Think about this. Cartoons in magazines all over London town. Yankee Doodle came to London. I was depicted as Yankee Doodle. You may have noticed my height. Riding on a pony. Where are my feet?
On the ground.
Dragging on the ground. It is a ridiculous image. He stuck a feather in his cap and called it macaroni. Now, while Mr. Jefferson has brought the recipe back from France for this soft, tasty pasta called macaroni, in this instance, a macaroni is a person in London town who dresses like a peacock with facial paint. One day they have a beauty mark here, the next day they move it here, and they walk with these very large big wigs. And they are universally derided by the people of London. And this is the image that they are conveying of the Americans and the American soldiery. So promise me you will forget that verse.
Yes, sir.
There's more than 100 American verses. Doctor, would you be willing to share an American verse with them?
It would be my honor to teach them an American verse and let them forget the other. All right, now everyone, repeat after me. This is your new verse, all right? There was General Washington.
There was General Washington.
Upon a great white stallion.
Upon a great white stallion.
Giving orders to his men.
Giving orders to his men.
There must have been a million.
There must have been a million.
That's an American verse. Promise us you'll sing that one next time. Well, I want to tell you that this has been a wonderful gift. I could ask for nothing more than the esteem and approbation of my fellow citizens and friends from other countries as well.
But, my dear, you do have some little tokens of our affection.
There's more?
Children have brought you some festive gifts.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Do tell.
I think they are arranged here to come and greet you. Nellie, would you help them?
Ah, my granddaughter, Nellie Custis. Audrey, you are very beautiful. What a pretty smile you have. And you are wearing Mrs. Washington's very favorite color, purple. You know, it was the color of her wedding slippers. Why do I remember that? And what do we have here? Is this a piece of coral? Well, I love all manner of natural things from this world of beauty. You know, I was given a piece of coral by one of my older brothers when I was a younger fellow, far younger. The piece of coral was very large, but like its owner, it became diminished over the years. But thank you. I love things from the earth and from the sea. You know, it puts me in mind, as a farmer, it is critically important that everyone understands that we are the stewards of this earth. We must take care of the land and the sea, and it will take care of us. Thank you so very, very much. I will credit. Thank you, dear. Thank you. Mr. Liu? Thank you, sir. There's even more?
Yes. Will they look descriptive? Oh, three?
Oh.
Well, my dears, please come up. And I do like your dresses. Thank you very highly. How did you three know that I needed a pair of spurs? Someone told you, I think. Well, thank you very much. I will put this to very good use. You know, at my age, I cannot receive anything without spinning back as an old man will do. I'll tell you what this makes me think of. During the War of American Independence, we had assigned an officer. He was a junior officer with a very critically important mission. He needed to ride 180 miles. He needed to do it very quickly. A critically important message he was delivering. And he mounted his horse outside of my headquarters. And I noticed that the officer had no spurs. And so I immediately removed my spurs and I gave them to the officer. Because it was my responsibility, not just for the success of the mission, but it was my responsibility to take care of this fellow. As I hope that each and every one of you, as citizens of these United States, citizens of freedom-loving countries everywhere, will understand it's important for you to take care of each other. And I thank you, ladies, very, very much. Thank you.
Very good.
I hope they fit.
We have one more person here.
All right.
Three more little girls.
Well, thank you. My goodness, you have very different clothing than the three girls prior. You're very beautiful. I just can't get used to the clothing in your day. To my eye, it looks like they're walking around in their bed clothing. But you are beautiful, each and every one of you. And what do you have here? A cane? You think that I'm old enough to need a cane? Oh, a walking stick. All right. Well, this is wonderful. Thank you. I will put this to good use. Let me see if it's the right idea. You did a very good job. You know, one more story. Because I can never look at a walking cane without thinking
walking cane.
of a very important day in my life and indeed in the history of these United States. I refer to the day of September 17, 1787.
Okay.
That was the day that we signed our Constitution in Philadelphia City. I was the presiding officer of that committee. And on that day, I thank all of the delegates for their service. They had been serving for more than 100 days. And I dismissed it. And I was up on the dais putting my own papers together, and I heard a... And I looked down off the dais, and here is Dr. Benjamin Franklin of Pennsylvania. He is making his way to the dais. He is in great pain. He suffered from the gout, he suffered from stones in his kidneys. There were days where he was in such agony he could not walk into the constitutional proceedings. He was carried in on a sedan chair or on a litter on the shoulders of 4 prisoners from the Walnut Street jail. And I immediately stepped down off the dais and I took Dr. Franklin's elbow and I said, "Doctor, how can I help you, sir?" And he had a Crabtree walking stick, beautiful, with a gold cap, his most prized possession. He actually left it to me when he shuffled off this mortal coil.
Interesting.
And he started poking with his Crabtree walking stick. I said, "Doctor," he said, "General, in our day and time, I have been looking at your chair." I said, "I don't understand what you're saying, doctor." He said, "During this day, this time, I have been looking at your chair, and for the preceding 100 days as well." I said, "Forgive me, I do not ken to what you're saying." He said, "General, in our day and time, when a painter paints a sun on the horizon, or a woodcarver carves a sun on the horizon, I now knew what he spoke of, for on the shoulder board of my chair, carved was a beautiful sun on the horizon, gilded." He said, "When they do that, General, one can never tell if it is a rising sun or if it is a setting sun. But," and he went on, "after the great rancor of these proceedings these last 100 days, the division, the faction, large states versus small states, wealthy states versus poor states, free states versus slave states, north versus south, I saw this union crumbling before it could even take form. Yet," and I will tell you, Dr. Franklin had a tear in his eye at this juncture. He said, "Yet, today we have signed this Constitution, and I have the great happiness to know that it is a rising sun on America and not a setting. I tell you this, my friends, because things may be at times difficult in your day and in your age, and you must